I live alone, but someone breathes in my room. I'm sitting in my bedroom right now. 11:47 p.m. I've been sitting here for 3 hours. Just sitting, listening. Because in 13 minutes, it's going to start again. The breathing, slow, steady, like someone lying next to me in bed. Except I live alone. I've always lived alone. And there's no one here. There's never anyone here. But every night at midnight, someone starts breathing in my room, and they don't stop until sunrise. This has been happening for 63 days, 2 months, and I still don't know if I'm losing my mind or if something is actually in here with me. My name is Sarah. I'm 28. I'm a graphic designer. I work from home. I live in a studio apartment in Brooklyn, 6th floor. No roommates, no pets. No plants that make noise. Just me. Or at least, it's supposed to be just me. Before I tell you what's been happening, you need to understand something. I'm not the kind of person who believes in this stuff. I don't watch ghost shows. I don't read horror. I think most paranormal experiences have rational explanations. Bad wiring, carbon monoxide, sleep paralysis. The human brain is incredible at finding patterns and creating threats where none exist. I believed that. I really did. Until 63 days ago, when I woke up at 3 a.m. and heard someone breathing next to my head, and my entire worldview shattered in the space of a single breath. Night 1, I'd been in the apartment for about 4 months. Nothing strange until that night. September 24th. I remember because it was my friend Jessica's birthday. And we'd gone out for drinks. I got home around 11. Not drunk. Just tired. Happy. Normal. I went through my usual routine. Washed my face. Brushed my teeth. Set my alarm. Checked that the door was locked. It's a New York thing. You always check the locks. Always. I climbed into bed around midnight. The apartment was quiet. City noise from outside, but that's normal. That's comforting. Actually, the white noise of traffic and distant sirens. I fell asleep fast. No trouble. No bad dreams. Then I woke up. The kind of waking where you don't know why. Nothing specific. Just suddenly awake. Eyes open. Brain alert. I checked my phone. 3:17 a.m. That's when I heard it. Breathing. Right next to my ear. On the pillow beside me. Not loud. Not aggressive. Just breathing, in, out, in, out. The kind of breathing you hear when someone's sleeping next to you. Deep, steady, peaceful, almost. I froze. Every muscle locked. My own breathing stopped, because there was no one there. The apartment is a studio. 1 room. I can see the entire space from my bed. The bathroom door was open. The front door was closed and locked. The windows were shut. I was alone, but someone was breathing next to me. I lay there for what felt like hours, but was probably only 30 seconds. The breathing continued, unchanging, rhythmic, real. Then I bolted, flipped on every light in the apartment, checked the bathroom, the closet, under the bed, behind the shower curtain. Nothing. No one. I stood in the middle of my apartment at 3:18 a.m., breathing hard, heart hammering. Trying to convince myself I'd imagined it. Dream sounds bleeding into waking consciousness. That's a thing. That happens. I left the lights on and tried to go back to sleep. Couldn't. Lay there until sunrise just staring at the ceiling. The breathing didn't come back. Not that night. The next morning, I felt stupid. Embarrassed. Told myself it was just my imagination. Stress. I'd been working long hours. Maybe I was more tired than I realized. I went about my day, worked, had lunch, forgot about it. Until that night. Night to through 7 midnight. I was working late, finishing a client project. I had headphones on, music playing. I was completely focused on my screen. Then I felt it. That sensation you get when you know someone's watching you. That primal instinct. I took off my headphones. The apartment was silent, except for breathing, coming from my bed, the empty bed across the room. I stared at it. The breathing continued. I could hear it clearly now. Over the hum of my laptop. Over the city noise. Over my own pounding heartbeat. This time, I didn't run. I walked slowly toward the bed. The breathing got louder as I got closer. Not in volume. Just more present. More undeniable. I stopped at the edge of the mattress. The sound was definitely coming from the bed. Right where my head would be if I were lying down. I stood there for 5 minutes. The breathing never stopped. Never changed pace. Never faltered. Then I did something that still makes me feel crazy. I spoke. Out loud. To the empty room. Who are you? The breathing stopped. Instantly. Like someone holding their breath. Like I'd startled them. The silence that followed was worse than the breathing. Because silence can be explained. Silence is absence. But breathing is presence. And now that presence knew I could hear it. I didn't sleep in my bed that night. Slept on the couch. Lights on. Kitchen knife within reach. Felt ridiculous but did it anyway. Night 3. Breathing started at 11:47 p.m. Exact same time. I timed it. I was already on the couch by then, waiting. When it started, I checked my bed with a flashlight from across the room. Nothing visible. Just sound. Just breathing. Night 4. I stayed at Jessica's place. Told her I was having electrical work done in my apartment. The lie came so easily. I couldn't tell her the truth. How do you tell someone that your apartment breathes? Night 5. Back in my apartment. I'd considered staying away longer, but I'd just renewed my lease. Couldn't afford to break it. And part of me, the stubborn part, refused to be driven out by something I couldn't even see. The breathing started at 11:47 p.m. Like clockwork. I tried to record it on my phone. Played it back. The file captured my own movement. The rustle of sheets, ambient noise, but not the breathing. The breathing wasn't there. I tried again. Same result. The breathing was clear, undeniable. Right there in the room. But the recording captured nothing. That's when I started to really spiral. Because if it wasn't on the recording, maybe it was in my head. Maybe I was having some kind of breakdown. Auditory hallucinations. Early onset schizophrenia. Brain tumor. Carbon monoxide poisoning. Night 6. I bought a carbon monoxide detector. Installed it. No readings. Air quality was fine. Night 7. I went to a doctor. Told her I was hearing things. She ordered blood work. Brain MRI. Hearing tests. Everything came back normal. She suggested stress. Recommended a therapist. I made an appointment. But I knew. Deep down. This wasn't in my head. This was in my room. The pattern by week 2. I'd established a pattern. The breathing started at 11:47 p.m. every night. Not 11:45. Not 11:50. 11:47 exactly. I tested it. Stayed up. Watched the clock. Second hand hit 12. Minute hand hit 47. And the breathing began. It lasted until sunrise. Whenever that was. In September. Sunrise is around 6:45 a.m. So roughly 7 hours of breathing. Every night. Without fail. The breathing itself was consistent. Average adult respiratory rate is 12 to 20 breaths per minute. I counted. This was 14. Every time. Never varied. In 4 seconds. Out 4 seconds. Brief pause. Repeat. It always came from the same location. My bed. Specifically, the left side. The side where I usually sleep. If I moved to the right side, the breathing stayed on the left. If I slept on the couch, the breathing remained in the bed. It never got louder. Never got softer. Never changed. Never stopped before sunrise. The consistency was almost worse than the breathing itself. Because consistency means intention. Means something is choosing to do this. Every night. At the exact same time. I started researching. Late night Google spirals that made me feel crazy. Sleep paralysis demons. Residual hauntings. Electromagnetic fields. Infrasound. Building settling. Neighbor sounds traveling through walls. I check the neighbors. Below me, elderly couple. Never heard a sound from them. Above me, empty apartment. Had been for 3 months. To the sides, college students on the left, young family on the right. Neither was home at 11:47 p.m. every single night. And even if they were, sound doesn't work that way. Doesn't sound like it's coming from your own bed when it's coming through walls. I called the building manager, asked about the history of the apartment. He said it was built in 1987. No deaths in the building he knew of. Definitely not in my unit. Just a normal apartment in a normal building. Except it wasn't normal. Not anymore. The escalation week 3. The breathing changed. Not in pace. Not in volume. But in proximity. It started moving. Instead of staying fixed on one spot on the bed, it moved. Slowly. Gradually. Night by night. It got closer to wherever I was. If I slept on the couch, by the end of the week, the breathing would be right next to the couch. If I slept on the floor, the breathing would be on the floor beside me. It was tracking me, following me, matching my location. The thought made my skin crawl. Because tracking implies awareness, implies intelligence, implies something that knows where I am and chooses to be close to me. Week 4. I felt it. Not just heard it. Felt it. The air pressure changes that come with breathing. When someone exhales near you, you feel the warm air. That's what started happening. I'd be lying in bed, and I'd feel warm air on my face, on my neck, on my arm, in rhythm with the breathing. Proof that whatever this was, it wasn't just sound, it was physical. Week 5. I started sleeping somewhere else. Friends' places, hotels, anywhere but my apartment. It helped temporarily. No breathing when I wasn't there, but I couldn't keep it up. I had a job, a life, bills to pay, and every time I came back, the breathing resumed. 11:47 p.m. Without fail. Week 6. I tried everything. I mean everything. Sage, salt lines, holy water. I'm not religious, but I was desperate. Called a priest. He came, did a blessing. Seemed skeptical but kind. The blessing did nothing. The breathing continued. Week 7. I called paranormal investigators. 3 different groups. They all wanted to investigate, but their schedules were weeks out. One group came, set up equipment, spent a night, recorded hours of footage, audio, video, thermal cameras, EMF detectors. They captured nothing. One investigator heard something around midnight. Got excited. Asked if that was it. I said yes. That was it. He nodded, made notes, said it was interesting but not conclusive. They packed up. Told me they'd review the footage and get back to me. 2 weeks later. We couldn't find any anomalies. Could be building acoustics. Could be stress-related auditory experiences. We recommend monitoring the situation. Monitoring, like I wasn't living this every single night. Week 8. Present day. 63 nights of breathing. I've stopped trying to explain it. Stopped trying to fix it. I just live with it now. The invisible roommate. The presence that breathes. I've named it. I don't know why. Maybe giving it a name makes it less terrifying. Makes it more manageable. I call it the sleeper. Because that's what it sounds like. Someone sleeping peacefully beside me. Every night. Forever. Theories. I have theories. Everyone who hears this story has theories. Let me address them. Theory. I'm hallucinating. Possible. Except hallucinations usually don't follow such rigid patterns. They fluctuate. Change. This is exactly the same every night. Same time. Same sound. Same feeling. 63 nights. That's not how hallucinations work. Theory. It's sleep paralysis. Also possible. Sleep paralysis often involves feeling a presence, hearing sounds, experiencing pressure on the chest. Except I'm not paralyzed. I can move during these episodes. I can walk around, turn on lights, leave the apartment, This happens whether I'm asleep or awake. Sleep paralysis is a transitional state. This is constant. Theory. It's psychological. Maybe. Stress manifesting as auditory experiences. But my life isn't particularly stressful. I like my job. Have good friends. No trauma. No major life changes. And wouldn't stress-related hallucinations respond to therapy or medication? I've been seeing a therapist for 3 weeks now. Nothing's changed. Theory. It's supernatural. A ghost. A spirit. Something that died in this apartment or this building and is somehow still here. Possible. But why? What would make a spirit breathe every night at the same time? What's the purpose? The message? Hauntings usually have some kind of logic. Some reason. This feels random. Purposeless. Theory. It's something else. Something I don't have a name for. Something that doesn't fit into our current understanding of reality. This is the theory I'm starting to believe. Because nothing else makes sense. Tonight, it's 11:54 p.m. 6 minutes. I'm sitting on my bed. Right where the breathing usually is. I've decided to stay here tonight. Right in the spot. When it starts, I'm not moving. I'm going to stay exactly where I am. Face whatever this is. Because I can't keep running. Can't keep sleeping on couches and in hotels. Can't keep avoiding my own bed. Maybe if I stay, I'll understand. Maybe I'll feel something different. See something. Learn something. Or maybe I'll just spend another night listening to invisible lungs fill and empty beside me, while I question my sanity. 11:56 p.m. 4 minutes. My heart is already racing. Adrenaline kicking in. Fight or flight response. Except I'm choosing to stay. Choosing to fight. Even though there's nothing to fight. Nothing to see. Nothing to hit or run from. Just breathing. 11:58 p.m. 2 minutes. I've turned off all the lights. Maybe darkness will help. Maybe I'll see something. Feel something. Anything other than this helpless confusion. 11:59 p.m. 1 minute. I'm lying down now. Head on the pillow. Right where the breathing always is. I want to be where it is. Want to feel it completely. Want to know what this is. If I'm going crazy, I need to know. If this is real, I need proof. 12 a.m. Nothing yet. 30 seconds. Still nothing. Maybe tonight will be different. Maybe it stopped. Maybe it's finally over. Maybe I imagine the pattern. Maybe there it is. The breathing has started. But this time, it's different. This time, it's not beside me. It's underneath me. I can feel it. The bed rising and falling. Like there's a body beneath me. Breathing. Chest expanding and contracting. I'm lying on top of something. Something breathing. Something alive. Or something that was alive. I want to move. Want to jump up. Want to run. But I stay. Because I said I would. Because I need to know. The breathing continues. Steady, calm. Peaceful. Like always. But now I can feel it. The ribs expanding. The lungs filling. The chest rising. I'm lying on top of someone. Someone invisible. Someone who's been here the whole time. In my bed. Breathing. Sleeping. Existing in some space I can't see, but can feel. I close my eyes. And then I feel something else. A hand. On my back. Resting there. Gently. Like someone comforting me. Like someone saying, I'm here. It's okay. I've always been here. The touch is warm. Solid, real. I should be terrified. I should be screaming. Should be running. But I'm not. Because for the first time in 63 days, I don't feel alone. I don't feel crazy. I feel understood. Like whatever this is, it knows I can feel it now. Can sense it. Can accept it. The breathing continues. The hand stays on my back. And slowly, impossibly, I feel my own breathing start to match the rhythm. In 4 seconds. Out 4 seconds. Brief pause. Repeat. I'm breathing with it. With them. With whatever invisible presence has been sharing my bed for 2 months. And the strangest thing happens. I feel calm. For the first time since this started, I feel calm. The fear is gone. The confusion is gone. All that's left is this strange, inexplicable peace. Like I've finally stopped fighting and started accepting. I lie there 4 hours. The breathing never stops. The hand never moves. I drift in and out of sleep. Real sleep. The kind I haven't had in months. When I wake up, the sun is shining through my window. 7:23 a.m. The breathing has stopped. The hand is gone. The bed feels normal. Empty, cold. I sit up slowly. Check my body. No marks. No bruises. No evidence of what happened. But I know it happened. I know what I felt. What I experienced. What I finally allowed myself to accept. I'm not alone in this apartment. I've never been alone. There's something here. Someone here. I don't know what it is. Don't know why it's here. Don't know if it's dangerous or harmless or something in between. But I know it breathes. Every night at 11:47 p.m. For 7 hours. Until sunrise. And now I know I can feel it. Can touch it. Can coexist with it. The question is, do I want to? Epilogue. I'm writing this 3 days later. The breathing has continued. Every night. Same time. Same pattern. But something's different now. I'm different. I don't run anymore. Don't sleep on the couch. Don't leave. I stay. In my bed. Where the breathing is. And some nights, I feel the hand again. Resting on my back. Gentle, warm. Comforting. I've stopped trying to explain it. Stopped looking for answers. Some things don't have answers. Some things just are. This is my reality now. My invisible roommate. My breathing companion. Whatever it is. Last night, I did something crazy. I spoke to it again. Out loud. Into the darkness. Right when the breathing started. Thank you, I said. For keeping me company. For not hurting me. For just being here. The breathing changed. Just for a moment. Got slightly faster. Like surprise. Like emotion. Like it understood. Then it returned to normal. 14 breaths per minute. Steady, calm. Peaceful. And I realized something. Maybe this isn't about fear. Maybe it's about loneliness. Maybe whatever this is, it's just lonely. Been alone for who knows how long. In this apartment. On this floor. In this building. Just existing. Just breathing. Just being. Waiting for someone who could sense it. Who could feel it. Who could accept it. And maybe I'm lonely too. Living alone in this city. Working from home. Distant from family. Friends busy with their own lives. Maybe we're both lonely. Maybe that's why this is happening. Maybe that's what this is. To lonely beings. One visible. One not. Sharing space. Sharing air. Sharing existence. I don't know if that's true. Don't know if that makes sense. But it feels true. And sometimes feeling is enough. Tonight, I'll go to bed at my normal time. I'll turn off the lights. I'll lie down on the left side. Where the breathing is. Where it's always been. And at 11:47 p.m. I'll hear it start again. That familiar sound. In, out, in, out. 14 breaths per minute. Until sunrise. And maybe I'll feel the hand again. And maybe I'll whisper, good night. Into the darkness. To the presence I can't see. To the companion I never asked for. To the mystery I've stopped trying to solve. Because some mysteries aren't meant to be solved. They're meant to be lived with. Accepted. Made peace with. I live alone. But someone breathes in my room. And somehow, impossibly, I'm okay with that now. Maybe we're both less alone because of it. Maybe that's enough.